Okay, so now we're going to do our loads. Alright, our loads are done under our load tool, and we have different types of load. We have a joint load tool, we have a concentrated load tool, we have a global load tool, we have a global projected load tool, and we have a local load tool. Alright, we're going to start off with our UDL tool. Just a quick reminder, we use our joint load tool strictly for joints, our concentrated load tool strictly to put concentrated loads, which are point loads, on beams in the center of them, or on an angled beam. Basically, for these loads, all you really want to do is pay attention to the picture, right? If you notice there's a little black picture on them, you want to zoom in over here. Now if you notice, just pay attention to the pictures and match them up with the pictures of the diagram on whatever assignment you're doing. And then all your tools, like all your loads, will be right in the right spots. So like, don't pay attention to the little lines, pay attention to the little arrows on which way your directions are pointing on those load tools. So we're going to start off with the UDL loads. So we're going to start off with the bottom dead load tools. So we're going to go up here, switch it over to dead loads, and then we're going to come over here. This is our UDL, which is a global projected load tool. We're going to right click on it. It's fully uniformed. If we wanted a load that would be on an angle, we'd start at 0 and go to 20 or something, we'd use partial variable, and it would allow us to do that. But we want a fully uniform disturbed load. So we're just going to go over here, we're going to put negative 4.2, because that's what it is. It's a negative 4.2, and because it's dead, I usually make them blue, just to make it pretty. And you want to make sure that the load orientation is in the Y, not in the X. If it's in the X, it's going to go to your joint across that beam. It's not going to go up and down the way you want it to. So you click OK, you come down, you click on your member, and there's your one load. You go on your next one, it's the same load, you click on it, there's your other load. Now you get your two dead loads. Now to save time, you also have a live load that goes across here that's a UDL. So all you have to do is quickly go up here, switch over to live. Okay, go back to your load tool, right click on it, change the color to red. Okay, change the load according to what the live load is, which is negative 7.8. And then you come over and you click OK again. Again, you want to make sure it's in the Y, it's fully uniform destroyed. So now this UDL load shoots right across the top from here to here. But when you put it in, it's not going to be displayed like that. It's going to be displayed like this. And this is the way it's supposed to look. And this is right. Next, now you got two separate loads. Now you're going to work on your angle loads. So again, we're going to switch our load tool over to the dead loads. And now we're going to go over to our next load, which is this one here. It's our global load tool. And if you notice, these lines go horizontal up and down, and they match up with these ones over here that go up and down. So you're going to click on that tool, right click, and you're going to go over and put in your load. The load for this one's negative 5.6. So negative 5.6. And again, these are dead, so you're going to change it to blue. And it's in the Y, which is fine. It's fully uniformed. So you go over, you click OK, you come down, you click over here, and the load works fine. And then on the other side, it's the same thing. So you click on that, and that's done. Next, you're going to put your wind loads in. Okay, you come up here, you click on your wind load, go down the wind, you go over to your wind load tool, which is going to be this one here under your local load tool. Now I do believe this is where there's a glitch in S-frame under your local load tool. If you notice when you click on it already, your local load tool is in the X. That means when you put your load in, it's going to shoot across and go straight to your joint. So when you click on this tool, you right click on it. Again, it's going to be a fully uniform distributed load. You want to make sure it's in the Y, right? But when you click on the Y, if you notice, it didn't change up here in the X. So you're going to have to manually change that after. Right? So you enter your load in, which is going to be positive 2.5, not a negative, because the load's going up. So you're just going to put in 2.5. Okay? And you're going to change the color to a green. That's what I do. And then you're going to click OK. Remember, your local load tool is in the Y here. But look, it's still up here in the X. And when I click OK, nothing changed. So if I go over here and I click on my member right now, my load's going to shoot over and go into my joint. I don't want that. So I have to come up here, I have to change this over to local Y, and then I come down here, and I click on it, and my load works out fine. If I don't do that, my load's going to shoot over here, and you're going to lose your hair. And then if you continue on over here with 2.5 is fine, but don't continue over here because the wind load changes. So a quick way so you don't have to go through all that stuff again and just change your load very quickly is if you notice here where it says W1, this is your load. You can just come up here and you can type in 5.6 for your new load, and then come over here and click on your member and you're fine. And everything's updated and you didn't have to go through all that stuff again. Next, we're going to put on our joint loads and our concentrated loads. Right? Our joint loads are up here, and there's a dead load, so we're going to go to our dead. We're going to right click, change our dead load to -20. And if you have problems with these, I think you need to practice. And click OK, you come over, you put your joint load on it, there's your -20. Then you come over to the other side, it's the same thing, -20. Click on that. This one also has a live load on it, so you're going to come up here, you're going to switch it to live, you're going to go to your joint load, right click on it, make it red, come up here, change it to a -5, come over and click OK. Come down, click on your load, there's your -5. Next we're going to do our concentrated load tools. So we're going to come over, and our concentrated load tool are both dead and live. So we're going to stay in live, we're going to head over to our concentrated load tool, right click on it, and we're going to have this. You can do it in your Y local or your Y global. Now, if you notice, this is in relative, you got X over L, which basically means everything's under 1. So like if it's going halfway through a distance, you can put 0.5 and it'll take you to 3 meters on where it needs to be. Or if you want, you can switch to absolute and you can type in 3 meters. As you notice, the number changed here, and it'll work that way too. So I can show you this way. And this one's going to be -50 kilonewtons, right? And also I put into global. So it's in your global, it's an absolute, 3 meters, and it's alive, so I'm going to make it red. I click OK. I come down here, I click on my number, and there's my load. Right? Also, if I come over here, this one's going to be different because, sorry, no, I messed this load up. This load's actually in a different location, but if I right click on the member, because I'm under that load tool, if you notice over here, my X distance is 0.5, right, over here from my load. I can come over and basically delete my load right here by clicking on this, right? So this is the load. You got to make sure that you don't mess up. It's under that member, number 1, 50 kilonewtons. You go over, you click delete, you click OK, close it. You go back to your load, right click on it, and basically it's an absolute, it's in Y, it's not at 3 meters. If you notice, there's a glitch here too. See how it's an absolute, we still got an XY? You want to watch that. So you gotta go click it, go back and forth, and then that arrow will go away. And then this distance is actually 4 meters, not 3. So you click 4 meters, it's -50 kilonewtons, it's in the Y, click OK, come back down, you click on it, and now your load's in the right spot. And now you have a dead load as well you want to put over here. And since everything's set up, all you have to do is come up here, go to dead, change your magnitude to -25 for your dead load, right? And if you notice I didn't change the color, so I'm going to go over here, change the color. We have to do all this stuff over again. Again, relative and absolute changes over 4 meters, change the load, -25. The more you do this, the more familiar you're going to be with this error, which you should practice, because it happens a lot. And then you're going to click OK, come down, click on the member, and there's your dead load. Now you're going to go over to your next member, which is at 3 meters. So for this one here, instead of going through all that stuff and you're still in the dead load, and the dead load's the same, if you come over here and just change this to 3 meters, you come down, you click OK, it put your dead load in the right spot for you. Next, you just switch back over to live. You come over here, you right click, change it to Y. Again, you gotta do this twice, so it switches over. It's at 3 meters, you change your negative load to 50. It's negative 50, you change your color because it's a live load. Click OK, come down, drop your load. Here's your negative 50 load. Now all your loads are done, everything's done. Now you can run it. As long as you take your time going through all your loads and all your joints and doing them properly, you won't have to double check everything. So next, you come up, you click Run, Analysis, click OK, changes to, click OK, type in whatever file number that's told to you during the exam or test. I'll just call it that, and click OK. Now it comes up here, number, total FYIs, 0, warning, errors. If you have any warnings or errors, most likely you messed up somewhere. FYIs are okay. They don't really have a big influence. They just tell you that something's out of place or something's different. Hit your spacebar, continue. Now everything's done. Now we're going to proceed with reading our data.